Hi guys, how are you all today? Give me a thumbs up. Tell me where you are. You never know. Your neighbor may be softwaring it next to you. So no questions came in through today. So we're pulling something off of the top of our head. If you can hear me, see me, give us a thumbs up, like us. So hey Priscilla, good to see you. How's Texas today? Things are It's actually we're supposed to get rain all week this week and it's barely sprinkled. Hey Sharon, you're in southern Utah today. Wow. Hi Margaret from Parkland, Florida. How are the turkeys, Margaret? Hi Lori, good to see you. Hi Wanda, good to see you. Hi Carolyn, it's sunny there again. Well, and it's hot, Priscilla. Okay. Um, we're muggy, but not real. It's not terrible here. Hi, Lois. You're in a Wisconsin heat wave. I think you all are warmer than we are here. Don't send that weather down with my in-laws next week, please. Um, Hi, Tracy. Good to see you from Monroe, Louisiana. You know, I actually, something you all don't know about me is I was a tournament water skier for UT. And we had a tournament in Monroe, Louisiana. The Nationals were there one year, and we actually went to Nationals that year. Hi, Tana. Good to see you. Hi, Laura. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Doris. Hi, Linda. It's 72. Oh, that's my kind of weather there, Linda. I like that. Hi, Beth from Lake Erie, Ohio, not far from where I used to live. Hi, Vera. Good to see you from Virginia. And Judy's here in Norfolk, Virginia. Georgetown, Texas, Christy. Cool. Southern Illinois, Mary. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me today. So today we're going to talk about path text in all of the programs. We're going to start with Canvas Workspace. We'll go to BES4 and we'll finish up in P Design 11. Houston, anybody remember Romper Room and Miss Francis? No. I had to say no. I remember the name Romper Room, but I don't remember Miss Francis at all. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Kathy's just down the road, I think, if you're in Chapel Hill. No, you're in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I was thinking we've got a Chapel Hill just down the road. Hi, Marilyn. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's get started. Yeah, you shouldn't. There's some things we shouldn't tell about ourselves, and maybe Romper Room is one of them. I remember the name, but Captain Kangaroo is probably the last one that I actually remember. All right, here we go. So, I've got the wrong program up first, so let's pull this one up and move it over to the other screen. Here we go. So text on a path. What exactly is text on a path? It's when you put your text on a different path. So let's do Happy 4th of July. Now, I clicked on my text tool and then I clicked on the page to activate the text tool. So you can put it on different paths. There are preset ones here. All of your shapes can be used as paths. You could do an octagon if you want to do two. Maybe I picked the wrong one, but a hexagon, I guess, is what I got there instead of an octagon. Grab it, and basically you highlight around all of them, and then you go down here to this little T sitting over the top of an arc. That's your text on path tool, and it fits your text around that path. You can change where it goes. Notice that little crosshatch at the beginning of your path. You simply left click on that and you can drag it anywhere around that path that you would like it to go. Now, I had somebody ask me last week, how do I mirror it then? Because my flip tools are not available to me. If you notice right here, flip is not available. Once you've got it on your path and you've got it the way that you want it, if you were wanting to mirror this for heat transfer vinyl, then you would need to first convert it to shapes, and then your flip tools become available. So that's the key to doing that is you convert it to shapes first, and then you can flip it. But what if I don't like exactly the arrangement that it did? So I kind of would rather have my A be turned a little bit and my J be this way a little bit. Now that I've got it converted to shapes, I can press my divide tool. Once you press divide, it divides all of your letters up into individual letters. You can then individually rotate those letters and move them where you want them to go. So that's how you can kind of get around the fact that it's stuck to that path and you're stuck like Chuck. How can you get it to move and do what you want it to actually do? And that right there is the trick. You convert it to shapes after you've fit it to path, and then you divide. And you can adjust the spacing if you need to in that manner. Whoops, something fell off. All right, so that's one trick. So that's doing it with an odd shape. Let's say we wanted to do that same thing or something similar. So I've got my text. Let's pick a different font style this time. I have no idea what we're going to do, but let's pick one. Ooh, I don't like that one. Let's try Belgium. There we go. Let's say you wanted to go. Yes, this is the Canvas Workspace is the program that comes with the scan and cut machines. And it's actually a free program that anybody can use, even if they don't have a scan and cut machine. If you want to get artwork for your software, let's say you wanted artwork, an FCM file, fancy cut machine or fabric cutting machine. I call it fancy cutting machine. But FCM file is what the scan and cut reads, and so that's what this exports. But BES4, the base level, also reads an FCM file, as does PDesign 11. So this allows you to get some nice, clean artwork if you want it. So I've got my text and I've got my path that I want it to fit to. Do I think I want my path bigger? Maybe. So let's make this a little bit bigger. And then you can just drag around it all to select it all, or Control A on your keyboard should work. Hit the Fit Text to Path button over on your Edit menu. And if you don't remember that, that's the one with the 4 squares on it. Fit Text to Path here. Now, this one did a flip on us. Wonder why? Well, it depends on which direction the path was created. So you could simply rotate this, or we can play and say we want it to start at the right. If you start it to the right, then it flips it for you instead of the left. So that's an easy way to get it right side up instead of having it at the left, which comes in at the default. You can go and change it to right, and it automatically will pop it up to the top. So if you needed to change the spacing of your text, this is your character spacing right here. Increase that in, you can increase or you can decrease that spacing. If you change your spacing, you will probably want to center, oops, let's not do that. I don't like that. Let's go back to right. You're going to want to adjust the path. So just adjust your text along that path with your little text tool there. Because we switched it from left to right, it's now on the right side for your adjustment. If I flip it back over to where it's left, you'll notice it's at the H. And you could just simply drag that around if you would rather, instead of trying to figure out which one I should choose, left, right, center, what. You can simply drag it around the path. And just like before, if you want to be able to move them individually, convert them to shapes, and then divide. The second tool down here in your process overlap, divide. Divide divides them up to where they're individual letters. They're no longer text, they're shapes, so you can't adjust, you can't change the font style at this point, but they're individual letters. Okay, let me come back and see if there's any questions. She used to say, so Barbara says she used to say hello to all the children at the end. I do not remember it. I do not remember that show. But I really wasn't much. I'll tell you all another little secret about me. My mother was a Days of Our Lives freak. She loved Days of Our Lives and all my children. And so when she was at work, she told her way to stay connected with me was to tell me to watch her soap operas. So she would come home and I would give her the entire rundown of what happened on Days of Our Lives and Another World. And Another World's no longer on, but Days of Our Lives is still around. So, all right, that is our fit text to path option. And you can draw your own. So let's see here. Let's go back. If you wanted to draw your own, let me delete all this. What is dark? Are you asking me about, I don't know dark shadows. So let's see here. So let's see if we drew our own path. Instead of picking a regular path, why don't we draw our own this time? That is this tool, your path tool. And what you would do is you left click where you want to insert a point. If you want it to round, click and drag and it will round. Click down where you want it to go next. Click and drag if you want it to round. If you want a corner, just click. But if you want it to curve, click and drag. And then double click to finish it. If you don't like your path, you can always double tap it and adjust the path that you created. The little, what I call wings are little Beziers, and you can adjust how much curve you get on that path. All right. So now we've got a path, we've got our text, we select it all. And once again, that fit text to path button allows you to fit it along your path, and you can adjust where it is on the path with that little adjustment node right there, that little crosshatch. Let's see if we add a little bit of space in this if we like it better. It's close. But if you want to adjust your path once your text is on there, how do you do that? Well, you can tap it twice, and then you can play with it. I'm trying to get the one I want, so I want this part. There we go. And you can adjust it until it reaches the way you want it to go. I like doing it this way because then you can see exactly what's happening with the letters as you're doing them. When you're done, click off of it and your text is fit to path. Okay. So, any questions? I did not know that the soap operas would get you all going on that one. That's pretty funny. Okay. Let's go to BES4 and do fit text to path. Okay. No questions so far. Y'all are good with that. That's Canvas Workspace. Canvas Workspace, I think I did see a question, does not export as an SVG. It only imports SVG. So the only thing that you can get out of it is an FCM file. Nancy, which program? And I'm sure I've combined embroidery files together in one of them. But if not, let me know which program that you're talking about, and I will. I'll do a little bit of that at the end of today. All right, so let's go back over to our screen over here, and let's look on. BES4 first. All right, yes, Nancy. While I'm in BES4, I'll show you how to merge designs. So let's click on our text tool, and this time we want to choose path text because that is what you do for path text in this program. When you click on the design page, preset paths pop up for you. These can all be adjusted, but they come up preset. You can change the size, and if you want to initially, I usually tend to change my size after I'm done. I mean, once I've got it in there, but you can type it in first, and let's pick a path. Let's say we want to do it to a circle today. Actually, I want to change paths because we have circle text. So let's click and pick a different path. How about we choose an arc? Okay. So let's type in Happy Father's Day. So there's our path. There's our text. It's automatically set for us. If you don't like the font style that you've got selected, go over to your properties window and click on the font style drop-down menu. The up and down arrow keys give you the preview of the fonts. If you just scroll through, you don't get a preview, but if you know what ones you like, you can always scroll directly to those, select one, and click Apply. If you have added the font filter to your program, if you go into font categories, you can choose your favorites. If you've set it up as favorites, then only the ones that you really like will pop up. And depending on how big that font is will depend on how it works along your path. So if your path is too big or too small, you can right mouse click and you can say text paths. It'll bring you right back in here. Let's say we want to take that up to 8 and press enter. Right mouse click, it should apply. Oh, it didn't do it. So let's go text paths again. I guess I have to select it. There we go. And it automatically will adjust it to that path. Okay. Now, with path text and all other text, if you're trying to adjust after the first letter and everything after it, you need to put a space in front of the first letter of the word. That will allow you to adjust your text along the path, the entire word. If you do not have that space in there, what will happen is it will adjust everything after the first letter, and this gets really weird after you do it the first time. Let me reset. So, all right, we've put our space in there, so now you can adjust it along that path. You don't want to go too far because it'll go nuts on you like it just did on me. It always is a booger. There we go. Now, you can also right mouse click on it, edit your baseline. That allows you to actually adjust it and play with it like I was playing with the other one earlier. You can't actually draw your own, but you can adjust the ones that are built into the program so you can make your own path. When does this come in handy? All right, so once you've got it adjusted the way you want it, right mouse click and your text will go back along that path. And if you want your text reset, you can right mouse click and say reset frame, and it'll automatically reset it along your path for you. I like that one better. Now, why would I want to do something like I just did? This will give me a chance to show you how to merge a design here, Nancy. If I come up and I choose merge, let's see here. Do I have any designs on this computer? That's the wild card. Oh, wow. Wouldn't you know it? I do not have any. I don't have any designs on here. Hold on. Let me oh, I do too. Hold on. This PC, let's go to the C drive. I do have some. Program files x86. Grab some from P Design. Library. All right. I can come in here and I can pull in multiples. If you want to see a thumbnail of them, choose your icons. So let's say I want to bring multiples in. If I hold my control key down while selecting them, it will bring multiple designs in at one time. You can also use the browser window. So let me select it all and get rid of it. If I go up to my browser button, and let's go back into Program Files x86 and Brother, because I know I've got some in that. P-Design 11, let's see here, Library. Design Library, I can look in different folders if I want to, and it will let me see what's in each of those folders. Let's go with these children designs. Hold the control key down and you can merge multiples at one time. Ooh, forgot one. Just go back up and choose merge and pick another design. And that'll allow you to do that. So let's go back to our fit text to path though. I'm going with one little guy here. And I want my text to go along the outside of him. So let's go to fit text to path, click on our design page to activate the tool, and let's pick the path that's closest to what we think we want to do. I'm going to choose this one. All right, so let me see here. Let's zoom out so you can see what we've got. Boy, that's a big old path. Let's right mouse click and change. Let's choose that again. We'll change our size. Let's go down to about 5 inches this time and pick that path again. We'll put Chris on it. Left click to set it. And if you don't like the path size, I still feel like we're too big, we can right mouse click, edit the baseline, not edit the baseline. Come on, let me have you. Right mouse click on it. Let's select it and then select it again. Right mouse click. It's just, there we go. Text path. Let's choose it and let's change it down to 3. Because so far I've gotten really big, and then right mouse click to, why are you being, oh, y'all got to remind me what I'm doing here. Text path. I've got it to 3. I have to select it again here. There we go. That is more along the lines of what I want. So if I want to adjust the path, you'll notice there's no diamond in front of Chris. I'm going to put a space in front of him, click apply, it moves it along the path. You can then adjust where it is on the path. And you can take the diamond on the end of the S and move that along. So for this one, you're good. Select the text with the select tool and rotate that into position. And if you're still not happy with it, you can play with it more and play with it. So multiple parts in one design. I'm not sure, Nancy. I did some of that last week on Auburn's show, where I brought in a design and I took parts of it out. Watch that one and it should help you, but I was working with all built-in content. So let's see here. If I merge this fish and I don't want the blue part of the fish, I can delete it. Let's put the blue part back in and delete the white out. You don't want the white, you want this. There, you can duplicate it and combine them together. So you would merge, you'd have to separate them, delete out what you don't want, but you'll notice when it's a built-in design that it's in stitch format, so it doesn't break it out into the stitches that it would have. If you want it to do that, let's see if we convert it to outline, if it will let us do that. Merge. You have a very specific request that you're looking for. That does break it out into the stitch segments. So you could take out whatever parts of those stitch segments that you don't like. Let's change this color to pink. And let's change this one to orange so that you can see a little bit better. All right. So now you can see the different parts of the design. If you want to get rid of the eyeball of the fish, come and find the eyeball of the fish, which would be right here. And you can delete it. It evidently has, oops, undo. It evidently has multiple parts to it. So as you find those parts, you can get rid of them and then you can merge your other parts with it. But it would be a convert to outlines button when you choose merge. All right, guys. Any questions on fit text to path? Let me come in here and yes, you could remove and flip the tail and combine it so that you have two tails. You could copy and paste it or power copy it onto a new sheet, and then you could have two tails. You want me to show you that? Let's bring the fish. Merge that fish back in. I've still got convert to outline selected. And let's look at our fish parts. It's a full fish, so I wouldn't be, since the tail is not divided, I wouldn't be able to get rid of it totally, but I can copy that or power copy. Go to a new page and paste it. There's your fish tail. Now, if you just want the tail itself, go to your Tools tab, Edit Shape Tool, and delete any nodes that are not part of the fish, part of the tail, right mouse click, and it's gone. Okay, so then you could duplicate that. You could copy and paste that tail to where you could have two tails. All right, any other questions? All right, so let's go to P Design 11. So in P Design 11, this is probably the most complicated of them all as far as fitting text to path. Let's do Father's Day again. But I think you get the most precise results here as opposed to with the other two programs. You can pick any shape that's built in, or you can draw your own. This time I'm going to draw my own for us. Left click to draw the path. I chose the curved line drawing tool, and wherever you click, the line's going to bend. To edit your shape, select it, click the Edit Shape tool, and you can adjust your edit nodes until you smooth it out the way you like it. Select both the path and the text. Go up to this button right here where it says Fit Text. And we want it to fit it to outline. And you want it to stay in the center. You want it above the line, and you want your orientation in the center. Say OK, and there you go. Now, with this one, I need to turn off the stitch. So on the line, I go up to my Shapes tool. I selected the line. I'm going to go up to my Shapes tab up here and change that to Not Sewn. So now you have your Happy Father's Day along your path, and the path will not sew. This is what it looks like in Realistic Preview. If you want to move your text along the path, select the text, and you just simply drag it along your path. So that one is the easiest of them all, in my opinion. And if you don't like the way it looks on your path, I should have shown this in BES4 as well. So in Canvas Workspace, when you wanted to adjust one letter, you had to convert it to shapes, and then you had to divide it. With P Design, since it is already in stitch format, you just simply rotate it. You click on the diamond in the center of the letter, and you can play with that individual letter. This program I'm using right now is P Design 11. I've used 3 different programs here. We did Canvas Workspace first. which is an artwork only program. Our BES4 program works for both artwork and for stitches. Same with PE Design. Depending on what power packs you have for BES4. If you have Power Pack 2, you can do your text on path as artwork if you use artwork fonts. Okay, any questions on that one? Donna, I do not know anything about either of those two programs. I am a Brother ambassador, so that's the programs. Those are the programs that I work on. Okay. Where was I going with this? If you want it now, BES4 and BES4 has that circle text. PE Design does not. How do I get text on a circle in PE Design? Let's do Father's Day again. So there's my Father's Day. I grab the Shapes tool. I grab the Circle tool. To draw a perfect circle, if you hold the Shift key down on your keyboard, it will draw you a perfectly shaped circle. I have stitches in this one, so I need to turn those stitches off. Normally it would have an outline as well. You need to make sure both of those are chosen not so. Select the text, go up to Fit Text and choose Fit Text to Outline. If I want text on the bottom of my circle, that is more of a challenge. We need to select the circle, and let's copy that circle and paste that circle. Move it over to the side. So you need two circles, just so we're clear on that. You put your second row, the text that you want on the bottom of the path above the second circle. Draw around that, fit text to outline. Now here's your trick. This time you want it to go to the other side and you want your alignment on the bottom. Touch OK. It flips it upside down and backwards, which is fine because we have rotate flip. You flip it vertically and you flip it horizontally, and now your text is correctly oriented. Select your first circle, Control M on your keyboard to move it to the middle. Select the second circle, Control M to move it to the middle of your design page, and your text is perfectly aligned and ready to go. All right. Let me see if there's some questions here. Robin, I would do really light stitching if I were doing on cardstock, simply because it will pierce the cardstock and you can pretty much perforate the whole thing. You might be better off stitching on fabric and then stitching the fabric to the cardstock as opposed to stitching directly on the cardstock with text, because you would really need it light or need it to just be an outline style. All right. Let me see. Let's go back to BES4 for just a second. Okay. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to hang where I am to show you one last thing. Let's change our font style of both of these, of the text here. We've got our text tool. I'm going to select it. Actually, I need to do them individually. It's not going to let me do that both at the same time. So I'm going to select my text. We're going to come down here and change my font styles to where this will work for me for the Scan and Cut. Let's say we want to go with that one. Belgium is what I picked. I'm going to go grab Dad and I'm going to pick Belgium again. I thought I did Belgium. Let's look at it again. Yep, Belgium, 38. Font number 38. That's the easiest way to hunt for it. There we go. Now, if I want to send this to my Scan and Cut as artwork, the first thing I would do is make everything bigger. I select it all by drawing around it. I'm just going to make it bigger so that it will see the centers in the holes. Yes, Deborah, P Design 11, excuse me, P Design 10 can do this as well. So we're going to select our text. We're going to go to our Scan and Cut tab, and we are going to export this text. The key thing is take it all the offset spacing all the way down to nothing and take that check mark off of create an outline only around the outermost edge. You'll notice that then you get the centers of your text and the outlines of your text. Then you can save it as an FCM file, and then you can send it to Canvas Workspace. Either one. So if you send it to Canvas Workspace, it will automatically ask you if you want to send it to your Scan and Cut machine as well. It's going to make me log in here. And so it tells me it's been sent to Canvas Workspace. Do I want to send it to my Scan and Cut? If I do, I say yes. I know that I do not have my machine connected. So it'll be there when I get there, when I connect when I connect my machine back up to it. I actually had it someplace else the other day, so I do not have it there. Okay. Now, let's go back, and I'm going to answer some questions here, and then I'm going to go back to BES4, and we're going to talk about text on a path with artwork in BES4 as well. If you have PowerPack 2, you have that option as well. So you can create the text on a path in your program and send it to the Scan and Cut. So let's see here. Okay, so yes, Mary, BES4 is an easier program to start with. It is not a digitizing program. That's the first thing I'll tell you. It is not a digitizing program. It is a customizing program that has some extra bells and whistles in it. It is a really nice program, and it works, and you can work with them together. I use both programs depending on what I do. It depends on where I go. Both are great programs. That one is going to be a personal opinion. I have McAfee on mine, but and I have Malwarebytes. So, I mean, I'm not endorsing either one. That's just what I've always used. So that's what I have. Lots of times your internet provider will provide you with security software, security programs as part of your internet service. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, let's go back and look in BES4 here for a minute. We're going to go on our Home tab, and we're going to grab our text tool. I'm going to still do path text. We're just going to change how we do this time. Instead of embroidery, we are going to do artwork. So I'm going to just type in my name here because I don't really care what I've got on here. The process is the same. We're going to change our style to artwork. This is a PowerPack 2 feature. So I can't stress that enough. You will not find this if you do not have PowerPack 2. So then you can come and play. You have path text, but you don't have artwork path text, okay? That's the difference. Now, if you don't want to worry with adding that space in the beginning and trying to figure it out, you can always click on the center square in the middle of your text and manipulate it. You also can click on that center square and rotate things if you need to. Same as in P Design, except for in P Design, it is a diamond. Here, it is a square. The circle on the right side lets you change your rotation angle. If you want to use TrueType fonts as artwork, you can do that as well. You just scroll through your fonts and find one that you want. Let's say we want, I like that one. Let's see no, that's not what I was looking for. Let's try that one. That's different. That's not what I picked. You do have to click on it. There we go. Apply. So you'll notice, since we are in artwork mode, if letters are overlapping, that you'll see that little dot, that little overlapping square. Take it and move it away. If you wanted it to stay overlapped, there are ways that you can do that. So on here, let's make this all overlap. I'm going to make everything touch here to where everything's overlapping just a bit. Okay, so you can see that my letters all have a little bit of white space on them. That means they are overlapping. So what I can do is select my text with the select tool, right mouse click and choose break up text. Now it's a shape. They're no longer text. If I select them, you'll notice it says artwork. Let's select them all. Go to our Arrange tab, transfer artwork, and weld. Now it's all one unit. It will all cut out as one thing. On your Tools tab, you do have Export FCM. You can then export it as an FCM file to a USB drive. If you are wireless, if you have a Power Pack that gave you wireless, which Power Pack 2 does, to your Scan and Cut machine, you can send that to the Scan and Cut machine. I never name it because it doesn't matter. It's going to make me log in because I'm on a computer that has never logged. This one has never logged into my Scan and Cut. Okay. Yes, that I showed how to do that with, you do have to, you've got to convert it to an object first and then divide, and that will let you move it around. It lets you move the letters individually around. And if you go back and watch, that's what I did at the very beginning of this video. Okay, guys, your time for question and answer is here. If there's something you need to have a burning desire to have answered today, let me know. Because if not, I am stacked to the brim with stuff to do. So I will end early today without feeling bad about it too much. Because there's lots we've got many more in a day, but I wanted to kind of keep things on topic today to where everybody got what they needed for Text on Path in each of the 3 programs. So if there are no other questions, then I am probably going to end us early today. Nope. So thanks, Charlene. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And truly, guys, if you have something you want to know about, please email me in between so that that's where I get a lot of my topics from, is your questions. If I'm just, I know how to do this. That's one of those things that I would like for you to be able to ask me the question. How do you send the cut part of an applique purchase design to the C? Okay, which program, Sandra? PE Design or BES4? No answer. Deborah, I will try that. I won't promise your answer for next week simply because I have 4 live shows next week. So, but it may be, maybe I can do it the week after. Okay. Oops, sorry. Just I may get to, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to do that next week, but I can probably do it for the next week. Would you make a 3-inch stencil with a Scan and Cut? 3-inch stencil of what? I mean, you're going to have to give me more information of what you want. Okay, so Sandra, your question was in PE Design, was in PED. Okay, that's pretty simple. I can show you that right now if you want to hang tight. So we're going to act like we have a pre-digitized applique design. I got to find one. Let me go to my import menu. I'm going to make one, and we're going to make it like it's purchased. We're going to go outline shapes. And we'll pick this. We're going to make it an applique real quick, and then I'll convert it to stitches, and it'll be like it was bought. So, applique wizard. Let's change our colors because they would never be color-coded applique. This is going to be about the ugliest colored cake ever. Just so we're clear. Actually, we can make it that color because we want them all to be the same. Now let's make these guys right here a different color. Orange. I'm cheating, guys. I shouldn't have made something with so many pieces in it. But this computer doesn't have a lot of designs on it. It's more powerful than my other one, but it doesn't have a lot of designs on it. Okay, that'll work. Everything's got a different design. So let's see here. If I convert it to stitches, is that going to do what I want it to do? Yes. Okay. So my design is like I've purchased it. Okay. We're going to act like we've imported this design because it is in fixed stitch format. I can no longer break it apart. It is what it is. And if I try to go to my Scan and Cut tab and export it right now, it's going to go to the outside edge, and that's not what we want. Okay. Now, so what we do is we grab that design, you go up to your Stitches tab, and the first thing you do is divide by color. That will break it down into the individual color segments. Then you can come and grab the first piece of each applique in your sewing order window. And then click on the select tool, this guy right here, or the big arrow, either one will work. Then you can go to your Scan and Cut tab, export, and take that offset spacing all the way down to 0, and that will get you what you want. Save it as an FCM file or export it to Canvas Workspace to send directly to your machine. Okay. I have a question here. It depends on how the SVG was created. If it's bigger than 12 inches, it's going to automatically adjust it to fit that space. If you have your different artboard selected, like a 12 by 24, and it were a longer design, it would not resize it, but it generally will resize to fit that shape. How would I make the Cincinnati letters that are 3 inches tall on the Scan and Cut? I would set up my artboard for 24 inches, 12 by 24, but I would think because that's such a long word, in order to get a 3-inch letter, you'd probably have to go with a 24-inch mat, unless you want to break it up into 2 parts. Simply type in Cincinnati and send it to your Scan and Cut and cut it out. You can cut it out of plastic stencil material. You can cut it out of adhesive vinyl and stick it on top of it, and just stencil it. Basically use your paint to stencil over the top of that as well. But I can go over that one the next time for you, Charlene, if that will help. Okay. All right, guys. If there is nothing else for today, I am going to call it a day with you all until next week. I'll see you next week. If you want to know more about the persona, or about, you're thinking about editing and designs, next week on Wednesday, Sewing Machines Plus, I'll be there with them. On Thursday, I'll be talking about the persona. Um, and then on Tuesday, as always, on my show. And then Tuesday morning, I'm on Brother Sews. So on Brother Sews, we're going to be doing my design center on Brother Sews on Tuesday morning. So you guys have a great rest of the week, and I shall see you next week. 4 times if you're lucky. Bye-bye. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.